Hello, Sonia Barrett here once again, and I'm back for another chit chat. Today we're going to talk about breaking the habit of limitations in your life. I think everybody can relate to this to some degree because limitations can be in relationships, it can be in money, it can be in just a behavior, it can be in a thought process. So it can be a variety of things. Could be in your job, in the career you choose, or the jobs you choose. So what I want to remind you of is that our life is about habits. We are habitual creatures. Everything we do, we tend to create a pattern out of it. And because of that, it repeats itself. Certain behaviors, certain experiences tend to become repetitive. And why does that happen? Well, again, your brain looks for patterns, and your brain operates off of a habitual behavior. And so when we begin to look at our stories, it can change the game completely. And our stories tend to run, and we run several stories at once, but they tend to run in such a way that because they're habitual, we don't really notice that we're running the same pattern, the same behavior, the same kind of thinking, just the same kind of life out of habit. So we may find ourselves sort of upset or frustrated because life isn't going exactly as you would like it to be, but at the same time, you're the setup, you're the one that's sabotaging yourself. And I'm going to go back to the stories because it's interesting, but I received an email yesterday that I actually talked about in an email blast. So get on my email list if you want to know about some of the things we talk about. And of course, it's therealsoniabarrett.com. You go to the website. But it was interesting because this person, and I got permission from them to repost their email, a portion of their email anyway. But this person was just very frustrated with the way life had been going for them, financially more than anything else. They had done everything, studied all kinds of spiritual practices and modalities, but and many things changed, but the one thing that was relentless was their money situation. And what this person kept saying is that no matter what I do, nothing seems to change. No matter what I do, with everything I've done, nothing changes. I still can't seem to have the life I want. And so what my response was it was actually pointing out the fact that they were having the life that they had actually conjured up, that they had magically manifested or produced. And how was that happening? That was happening by the mere fact that this person had a thought process, a thought pattern of no matter what I do, nothing changes. No matter what I do, I can't seem to have the life I want. And what happens then? Well, at that point, we then have to draw in experiences that support that theme, and it becomes a theme. It becomes this repetitious theme. It becomes a loop. And so you create situations and experiences that will ensure that that loop continues to repeat itself. You have to have experiences that will support this belief that we've created. It is a story that we have running. And what was interesting is being able to say to this person, but you are living the life that you have designed and created. It's just that you're living the life of not being able to live the life that you think that you want, because you keep creating more of everything to ensure a level of lack, which then ensures that you are caught in this loop of not being able to live the life that you want. And we all get caught in our own unique loops. And for me, it was a great reminder in responding to this person's email. It was a great reminder for me as well to, in that moment, I saw a couple of stories that I was running. And we do it all the time. We do it with, for example, let's pick our job. For example, there is probably a promotion that you can't seem to get, no matter what you do. Maybe the interpretation is, I don't get it. No matter what I do, I keep getting looked over. I keep being passed over. I keep being passed over. I keep being passed over. Now you've got a loop going. I keep being passed over. And because you don't notice that loop, it just keeps playing. And then more reinforcement. More things are gathered around you like a magnet that keeps reinforcing that loop. Relationships. I can't seem to get somebody that loves me or cares for me. I can't seem to find love. I can't seem to find that kind of love. I can't seem to find that kind of love. There's the loop again. Another thing with relationships. What's another common one? Maybe I always give, or I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I always get hurt. I wear my heart on my sleeve and I always get hurt. I wear my heart on my sleeve and I always get hurt. So then there's another loop again. Now, if you stop, if you really are listening to what I'm saying in this moment, you can actually begin to spot many of the loops that you've been running. Now, this is not just sitting here talking about the law of attraction. I'm looking at the science, truly, yes, of how we're designed to be habitual, to create habitual patterns, behaviors that we operate by. And I was even saying this in a workshop that I did last week. And we're talking about how adaptable we are when we move somewhere. For example, me, as a child, you pick up the accent. Even as an adult, you pick up the accent of wherever it is you are. So suddenly our brain gets into the rhythm of that. What is it? That language of how everything is vocalized, how our ears are picking it up and our brain, and how that starts to change your accent, unless we are very purposeful in ensuring that doesn't change. But even if the accent doesn't change, what's interesting is behavior changes. You're different. Now, anybody that's listening that's from another country and you live here, you will attest to this. When you go back to your own country, you will find that you are different. There are things about you that are different. You can feel it, that you are different. Others notice that you're different. Even if you don't say anything, they recognize energetically that perhaps you don't live here anymore. You live somewhere else. So my point is as to how interesting it is that we change the way that we do. We're very pliable, which is a beautiful thing to be aware of, is how pliable the brain is. Because if it's that pliable, that means without a doubt that we can break free from these habits that we that are limiting us in various ways. We can break those habits, and simply what? We end up creating new patterns, new habits, new behaviors. Now, in adding new patterns, new behaviors, it still becomes necessary that we what? That we always bring latitude to it. We mix it up a bit. We stretch it a bit. Still the same thing, the same model is there, but you just bring a little bit more variety to it. And again, you're stretching it a little bit. You're creating new neural pathways because of how essential it is to our growth, our personal evolution, and to even our own health, to be able to create new neural pathways, create new experiences. The brain needs that. Your body needs that. To live in the same repetitious pattern and life it really is stagnating, not trying new things, not experiencing a new life, on occasion, just going somewhere different, doing something different, meeting new people. It is stagnating, and your body needs flow. It needs life force. It needs to be reminded that you are still loving life, and you're still wanting to be, you're still wanting to live, and to continue to expand your imagination and experience more. So anyway, getting back to breaking the habit, hopefully in listening to what I've said, this may very well assist. I know for the person that emailed me, that I had mentioned, they did email back and say thank you, and also said it was staring me in the face all along and I didn't even see it. And this is exactly what happens. You start realizing that you just didn't see it, but now I see it. What do I plan to do? And you can also say, yeah, no, I see it, but I don't know how to change it. I don't know what to do, because no matter what I do, hear what you're saying to yourself. Listen to what you're saying. Watch your behavior. Feel your comfort level with holding on to that same belief. And this is why religion works so well for many. To some degree, there is a detachment from personal responsibility and ownership of regulating one's life. I mean, people used to say, well, yeah, the devil made me do it, or, it's Satan. But if you stop and step away from some of these kinds of ideas and belief systems, even if that were the case, that something else made you do it, we have to ask, well, where was I? Was that more expansive part of me absolutely absent, so absent that something else was able to step in and regulate my life? Was I so absent from an unconscious from my life that something else took over? If you are indeed believing that. But what I want to say is, we have more choice than we want to own. It's easier to put it off on someone else or something else, but we have more choice, and we are more managers of our lives. We are magicians. We just keep waving our wand and creating experiences and habits that perhaps limit us, or we no longer want. We just don't realize that we keep waving the wand and creating more of the same thing. We are imagination machines. That's our job, is to imagine and to produce from that imagination. So what are you imagining? Your imagination is what? Influenced by your thought process, your belief system, all your perception. They all work together in terms of how limited your imagination can be, or how small your, how limiting or how expansive your imagination can be, and what you will allow yourself to imagine in terms of creating a life that is more expansive perhaps than what you're experiencing at this time. So I hope that you did enjoy that chit chat. And I'd like to say another thing, at least this is something that I want to offer. Now, you have to do two things in order to, three things in order to be part of this offer. I would like to do a 15 to 20 minute free chat with you. So that means you'd get on my website and we would chat. However, in order to make that happen, and it's going to be for a limited number of people, I'm going to take a string of people and then it's random after that. So basically, I need for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is free, subscribe to my website, which is also free, then send me an email. You can even make a comment as well. I'd love when you comment on the videos, because then we get a chat going, which really sort of expands the video. But you can then email me. So you have to do these three things, all right? So the third one is to email me, soniabarr@yahoo.com. You can see it down below. And that's the last thing. So after you've subscribed to my channel, maybe you already are subscribed, but subscribe to the YouTube channel, then subscribe to my website, which is free, and then there's a free download that you get anyway, and then send me an email, soniabarr@yahoo.com, and in that email, I want you to tell me what is the topic that you want to chat about for those 15 or maybe even 20 minutes. Let me know what you want to chat about, and I would love to do that. And then we'll pick a time, and then we'll just get on the website and we'll chat. I love doing that. I look forward to it. And of course, again, my website is therealsoniabarrett.com, and thebusinessofdisease.com, the movie, get the DVD, and the book. So get on the website and check that out. And I believe that's it for now. So until next time, see you then.